Hi, Reverend Bill Banuchi here from the New York Faith and Freedom Coalition with the second in our series as we look at the fates of America's presidents. Today we're going to look at President number 2, John Adams. John Adams grew up in the congregational tradition in New England. His father was a church deacon, and the young Adams actually considered becoming a minister before choosing law. Over time, Adam adopted theological views associated with the Unitarian Christian Church. He believed in God, providence, moral accountability, and the ethical teachings of Jesus, but he rejected the supernatural things in the Bible, such as the Trinity, inherited guilt. His faith emphasized reason and conscience more than revival per se or creed. Religion, in Adams' view, was essential to Republican government because free institutions depended on self-control and public virtue. Yet he was no advocate of the clerical rule. His correspondence reveals a sharp criticism of superstition, dogmatism, and religious persecution. His administration also approved the Treaty of Tripoli, whose English text stated that the United States government was not, quote, in any sense founded on a Christian religion, as were many of the European nations of the time, where Christianity in one form or another was a state religion. The clause was intended to reassure the Muslims that America had no state religion and we were not engaged in a religious war. It did not mean that Adams was irreligious, nor did it mean that American institutions and culture weren't founded on biblical principles. It most certainly was, according to Adams. Adams saw a moral order under providence, but he distrusted anyone who claimed exclusive authority to speak for God. He was rational, morally demanding in his faith, deeply religious by his own understanding. He was a deeply committed believer in the principles of the Bible, though unconventional by the standards of Orthodox Christianity. He was firmly connected to the ideas of liberty of conscience as revealed in the scriptures. In fact, he said that, quote, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the governing of any other. So in our next episode, we'll take a look at President number 3. You know, the guy who gave you the phrase, separation of church and state, Thomas Jefferson. See you then. Take care and God bless.